Filmmaking has this really old rule called show, don't tell. Basically what that means is that if you're shooting a scene, you shouldn't tell your audience exactly what you mean, and you should leave it up to them, like how they want to interpret the scene for themselves. Everybody's gonna be slightly different, but it leads to like such good filmmaking, and today in this video we're gonna look at some of the best examples I could find from some of my favorite films. And let's get right into it. And of course, spoiler for all of these movies here, we're gonna talk about them a little bit, so if you haven't seen them, I recommend clicking away now. So I saw the final trailer for A Quiet Place Part 2, and of course I'm very excited, and one shot that really stuck out to me was this shot right over here, and it's of Emily Blunt's character kind of, just stepping into like some dead leaves. It's a very simple shot, but to me it means a whole lot more, because if you've seen the first movie, you would know what I mean. So basically in the first movie, you could tell it was all about parenting, what would you do for your kids, and of course at the end of the movie, we see that John Krasinski's character sacrifices himself for his children so they could return to safety. Throughout the movie, you could see both Emily Blunt and John Krasinski's characters, doing things to make their kids' lives simpler, easier, and a little better. And one of the things, John Krasinski's character was doing was laying sand paths everywhere. So it would make walking easier for everybody, because of course they have to be barefoot. So a shot like this, for me personally, kind of represents that, they can't just walk on the path that their dad laid out for them. They have to step out of their comfort zone and move on. And that is basically the perfect metaphor. There's no more sand there for them to walk on. It's going to be much harder. That's just how life is for them now. It's like the sad truth that they realize in this moment. Their dad only led them to that point, and now it's their journey from there on. So that was just a little clever thing that I noticed in the movie trailer. I'm gonna watch the movie sometime soon, hopefully, whenever theaters open up, and I'm very excited for it. All right, moving on, we have a scene from Joker. And this was honestly one of my favorite films from 2019. Of course, Joaquin Phoenix, went home with the Oscar for Best Actor. Well deserved. He did a great job. And this is a scene right after he finds out the truth about, his childhood and his mother, and he kills her, of course. And you see him here with white face paint. And something like this, it really symbolizes that he has changed as a person, like that event has changed him. And that plain white face paint kind of symbolizes like a fresh start, a clean plate. And if you fast forward in the scene a little bit, this is a scene of course, him killing Randall. And if you look at this, the first thing he does after the fresh start is kill somebody, and the first thing that lands on his face is blood. I mean, a scene like this really shows you the type of person Arthur has become and, what society has led him to become. If you watch the movie, of course, it makes a lot more sense, but this is a wonderfully done scene, a 10 out of 10 in my books. Next up, we have a scene from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I love this movie so much. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and this, in my opinion, is a cinematic masterpiece. Such a good movie, and this scene is easily the best scene from the entire movie. If you watch the entire movie, the movie is always talking about meeting expectations. Miles meeting his own expectations, his parents, his school, all the other spider people / pigs. Throughout the movie, we see Miles trying his best, but like falling just short of those expectations. So this scene is where he truly becomes Spider-Man, and he meets those expectations. And I'm gonna, show you a couple things here. So the scene before this, we see Peter B. Parker telling Miles that, he's never truly gonna know when he's ready. He just has to take the leap of faith. And that's basically what he's doing here. And he's on the side of the building getting ready to jump. And of course, as he jumps, you kind of see the glass break behind him. That, something very small like that kind of shows you how scared he was, that he was just holding on for dear life. But he just had to let go, take the leap of faith, and the glass kind of broke behind him. So as he's falling, you see this amazing shot, which was easily the best shot of the entire movie. And if you look at it, it might just seem like a simple shot of Miles falling and the camera is upside down. But if you really think about it, talking about all the expectations, if you take the city as a metaphor for expectations, which is at the top of the frame right there, and think of that as all the expectations on Miles, you see Miles kind of rising up to meet them. So he's rising to meet all the expectations that were set upon him. That's what this shot means to me personally. And that's why I love it so much. It's beautifully shot. The whole movie is just a masterpiece. All right, so last but definitely not least is Inception. Easily, hands down, my favorite movie of all time. I'm a huge Chris Nolan fan, and this is his best work in my opinion. I mean, The Dark Knight is up there, definitely number 2. but this is my favorite movie he's ever made. If you don't know the movie, it's kind of complicated. It's about going inside of dreams and kind of getting some information out or planting some ideas in. The main character, Cobb, has this tiny little top that he uses to figure out if he's still dreaming or he's in the real world. And if the top spins forever, he's dreaming. If it topples over, he's in reality. Throughout the movie, we find out that Cobb is basically just trying to go home to meet his children and be with his family. And that's basically what the whole movie is about. And at the end, when he's back home, he spins his top on his dining table at home, but he sees his kids in the distance and he gets distracted. He leaves the top, doesn't check on it, just goes to his kids. And then the camera just pans back towards the top and we see it spinning and the movie cuts to black. If you know Chris Nolan, you know that he loves to kind of leave the ending of his movies kind of ambiguous, up to the audience to decide. But something like that is so powerful because it's not just Nolan messing with you and not telling you if he's dreaming or not. That basically tells you that according to Cobb, our main character, we've been following him this entire time. According to him, it doesn't matter if the top topples over or it just spins forever. He doesn't care enough to check on that top again. He sees his kids and he's happy, and that is where he wants to be. So we don't get to see if the top topples over, he doesn't get to see, and he doesn't want to see. So that's basically like the message at the end of the movie. Alright guys, so that's about all the time we have for today. I really hope you guys can appreciate movies just a little bit more after watching something like this. There's just so many hidden, deeper meanings than simple shots, and I just love breaking them down. I'm a big movie nerd, I do this all the time, and if you like videos like this, I'll definitely make a lot more of them. And that's about it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave it a like, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys next time.